You do understand the distinction between a weave fountain that goes clockwise versus counterclockwise, yes or no? Let me give you some quickies on this. Okay, if you imagine, I have this thing called the turning matrix. If you imagine how Poi works on a physics level, if you're standing here, so if we look at my room that I'm standing in and we say, this is cardinal north, east, south, and west. If we both face to our east, right? So north is the camera, or in my case, the screen. So if we start here in overhand facing east, and then we were to turn to our left, our Poi would be going clockwise. And if we turn to our left again, our Poi would be going underhand. And if we turn to the left again, our Poi would be doing counterclockwise. And if we turn to the left again, we would be back at the start. So we're in overhand, one turn clockwise, another turn underhand, another 90-degree turn to counterclockwise, even though to you, this looks like the same direction as the viewer. This looks like the same direction as this, but your subjective direction will be different. And that also makes sense, yes? If we were to do a weave fountain, which is essentially, you're going from an overhand weave to an underhand weave, back to an overhand weave. If we were to do this, and you looked at the direction of the Poi from your perspective, the viewer, the entire time the Poi would look like it's going clockwise. See, can you see that? Okay, great. Now, if we take the turning matrix and we put overhand in the west position, okay? Now, if we turn to the right 90 degrees, it's counterclockwise. If we turn to the right 90 degrees, it's underhand. If we turn to the right 90 degrees, it's clockwise relative to us, even though from the external view, it still looks like it's counterclockwise. And if you turn back, you're back in overhand. And of course, I demonstrated going from the other way, going left turns, and I demonstrated this right turns, but you can do right or left turns. Okay, and then when you're doing the weave in overhand here, and you go to underhand here, and you do this fountain, does it make sense that it now looks counterclockwise? Okay. If you're trying to figure out whether you're going to go into clockwise or counterclockwise, what you do is wherever you're starting on your side plane, just turn to the front plane and look at the direction that it is, and that's the direction you're going in. So if you're doing a weave, in general, I would say you want to be facing east and west because you want the audience to see the circles. So almost never will you be facing north and south and doing a weave. Now, I say that as a rule, but that's not really true. If you're spinning in the round, there is no northwest, east, south because you don't have a front to your stage in the same sort of way. So that's a very notable exception. But if you're here in let's say we're in overhand on the right, the first thing is, now if we had done Chasing the Sun together from the beginning, I would know that you know about the T stance, but I'm not sure you do. I use this thing that I think of as a T because the back leg is the top of the T, the front leg is the bottom of the T, so it's like an upside down T, and what you do is you pivot back and forth. So like if I'm doing this to this, these low turns and these high turns, is a great pivot. If I'm doing this fountain, I use the same thing, so you don't have to lift your feet, and you just pivot and turn like this, and pivot and turn like this.